Lord Mustafa, look who finally woke the hell up and joined the party. Today, Senator Chuck Schumer decided to go to the floor and he said, oh, until Donald Trump answers about this jet from Qatar, I'm not going to allow any political appointee nomination to the Department of Justice to go forward. Wow. What did somebody drop a backbone and he picked it up? Play.
President, news of the Qatari government gifting Donald Trump a $400 million private jet to use as Air Force One is so corrupt that even Putin would give a double take. This is not just naked corruption, it is also a grave national security threat. So in light of the deeply troubling news of a possible Qatari-funded Air Force One, and the reports that the Attorney General personally signed off on this clearly unethical deal, I am announcing a hold on all DOJ political nominees until we get more answers. Here are some questions that must be answered. First, I call on the DOJ's Foreign Agent Registration Act Unit, or the FARA unit, to do its job and disclose all activities by Qatari foreign agents inside the U.S. that could benefit President Trump or the Trump Organization. Since Attorney General Bondi took charge, the Department of Justice has not been doing its job when it comes to FARA. The FARA unit needs to enforce the law and inform the public of all activities, not just on this luxury plane deal, but all deals involving foreign countries in the Middle East and President Trump, his family, and the Trump Organization. Second, with regard to this $500 million private jet deal, the American people deserve to know the facts. President Trump has told the American people this is, quote, a free jet. Does that mean the Qataris are delivering a ready on day one plane with all the security measures already built in? If so, who installed those security measures? And how do we know they were properly installed? Why would we take the risk of trusting any foreign country to do this sensitive work? If not, what security modifications would be needed to ensure a foreign-sourced Air Force One is safe to use? If this is, as President Trump promised, a free jet, will the Qataris pay for those highly sensitive installations, or will American taxpayers cover the cost? How much will those modifications cost American taxpayers? Hundreds of billions of dollars? Hundreds of millions of dollars? Billions of dollars? How much will they cost? If the American taxpayers are forced to pay for this temporary plane, does it mean the U.S. government will cancel the contract for the future Boeing plane? If so, how much will that cancellation cost? And if not, why are American taxpayers being asked to spend hundreds of millions of dollars or more on a plane that will only be used for a year or two? Additionally, who in the Trump administration was responsible for this crooked deal? What are the parameters of this deal? And which country brought it up first, us or them? What is Qatar being offered in return? Considering past security disasters, such as the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, what are the security risks of this arrangement? And finally, how is this gift not naked corruption? The Attorney General must testify before both the House and Senate to explain why gifting Donald Trump a private jet does not violate the Emoluments Clause, which requires congressional approval, or any ethics law. So, until the Attorney General explains her blatantly inept decision, and we get complete and comprehensive to these and other questions, I will place a hold on all political nominees to the Department of Justice. As disturbing as this
Mustafa, look who woke his ass up.
I mean, it's always interesting. I'm always curious. I'm like, so what is it that finally breaks the camel's back? What is it that has to be so egregious that you say no more? And then I'm like, and this is it? After you watched him literally strip billions and billions and billions of dollars out of programs that help all kinds of folks across our country, when you take a look at all the side deals that he has done with, all the stuff on the cryptocurrency side, his family making these deals that are going on, and now you finally want to say something when folks have been asking you for months, to stand up, to push back, to utilize the limited power that you have, but to utilize it in a way that is actually meaningful. So it's always great when people wake up. I'm just always amazed that it takes certain folks, and often it is politicians, so long to wake up. And they wake up after the real damage is done. I'm not saying that this is not important. I know ethics. I lived through it when I was in federal service. But I'm like, you saw all these people across the country who now can't find a place to live, who don't have anything to eat, all the basic amenities that you allowed to be stripped away. And this is the one that woke you up. I'm glad you're awake. But it would have been nice if you'd have opened your eyes a little sooner.
See, this is the thing for me, Morgan, that drives me crazy. Like, here's a perfect example tied to the Schumer deal. So you got Sean Duffy running his ass around as the Secretary of Department of Transportation, talking about when they should have been fixing the problems with the airports and the FAA. And he gave this speech right here. That boy don't do math real well. Listen to this.
And again, we didn't have to be here. This did not have to be our story. Over the last 4 years, the last administration, they knew this was a problem. And by the way, during COVID, when people weren't flying, that was a perfect time to fix these problems. But again, they got $1.2 trillion for infrastructure. And again, we didn't have to be here.
Okay, y'all might have missed that. So let me just play that 20-second clip one more time. Because this boy did not do well in math. Listen.
And again, we didn't have to be here. This did not have to be our story. Over the last 4 years, the last administration, they knew this was a problem. And by the way, during COVID, when people weren't flying, that was a perfect time to fix these problems. But again, they got $1.2 trillion for.
That was 2020. That was Trump was president.
Yeah.
That's a little hard for Biden and Harris to fix the problem in 2020, Morgan, when Trump was in the Oval Office in 2020.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the danger of somebody like a Sean Duffy is, he's a TV guy. He was on MTV. He's on Fox News. You just you look away for a second and he said 5 more things and then you don't even know which way is up. So again, so important that we have these conversations to break down what is happening and just the ridiculousness of it all. And I'll add, I mean, not specifically in that clip, but just generally this idea that, okay, so yeah, one, Biden Harris was not in charge in 2020 when everything had shut down. But two, another claim he's been making with this air traffic control situation is that, that they did nothing to support the air traffic control system. It's just false. I mean, I have a colleague at American Economic Liberties Project, Bill McGee, who's an aviation expert, put out a tweet thread today citing one of the press releases that from the Department of Transportation during Biden-Harris administration talking about hiring over 1,400 people to support the air traffic control system. So, it's interesting because another point that Secretary Duffy has been making is, this isn't easy. This is going to take us some time. But then in the same breath, he's attacking people who were actually doing something to address the issue, but doesn't want to admit to that, of course, because, politics.
Yeah, I mean, Margie, the thing for me about the Schumer piece, dude, this is where you go scorched earth. You're limited power. This is what you say. Say, dog, ain't nobody getting through. Ain't nobody getting through. I'm going to do and then if they complain, I'm going to say, what was that scene from Eddie Murphy? La, 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 la. I'm going to say, this is me right here. I'm sorry. Didn't y'all pull that bullshit when Biden was there? Then I would say, didn't y'all block more than 100 federal judges, preventing Obama from naming them? Nah, player. I ain't letting nobody through. I'm shutting everything down. This whole thing about unanimous consent, nah. I'm gonna make y'all vote on everything, I'm about to make y'all life hell. Do the same thing that Rand Paul did, the same thing Tommy Tuberville did. That's what you do.
Yeah. I was going to say, you don't even have to go all the way back to Obama. Tommy Tuberville just did that. Was it last year, the year before that? I will say this about Chuck Schumer. I was mad as hell when he wrote that strongly worded letter. I was like, dude, are you kidding me, bro? So yeah, at least he stepped up his game a little bit, and he's blocking the DOJ in order for them to get some answers on that plane. I also like Leader Jeffries, flexing a little bit, with his own go ahead, make my day moment, daring them to come for his reps, because frankly, they're accusing the members of Congress of body slamming cops. Like, did you see that little, I don't know her name. She's a little old lady. She can't weigh more than 100 pounds.
Bonnie Watson Coleman.
Yes. I don't see her body slamming somebody. And you know what? If she did, produce the body cam or produce the video, because nowadays everybody's got a video in their phone. If they've got a phone, they got a video camera. So yeah, if it happened, produce the video, or it didn't happen. But what I'd like to see out of Congress right now is stuff actually more in line with what Chuck Schumer is doing with this procedural thing, because you're right. They don't have the Democrats don't have a majority, so they don't have that much power to do much. But now is the time to get creative, get archaic.
Welcome.
Go back in the files.
Go ahead.
Go back in the files of how the minority has obstructed progress in the past. Go back to the 1700s, the 1800s, and figure that stuff out now. Now is the time.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.